All right, so to my last video where I talked about life is fear, an associate of mine said to me, he saw the video and he said to me, but what about the millionaires who are healthy, right? What about the millionaires who are healthy? He said I only used I created a scenario that fit my narrative or fit my point that I was trying to make. So here's what I had to say to that, right? He's right. What about the millionaires? Here's the thing. The point is not to get into the details. I wasn't, it was an allegory. And an allegory is just a image, story, or a picture, whatever I use to convey a deeper meaning, right? So it's the meaning you have to focus on, my friend, not the allegory itself, not the details in the allegory. It's just pointing to something else. You focus on the one rich guy that I use and the one homeless guy. That means you missed the whole point. And here's the whole, let me just be clear then and just speak in literal terms. He took it literal. He's a literalist. That's what you call a literalist. Right? It's not a literal thing. It's an allegory. It's an allegorical thing. So here's the literal meaning. The point of that allegory or the metaphor that I was using is that life is fair because it screws everybody at their point in time. Right? And that was the point that I was trying to make, that everyone at their point, in other words, life has a portion of screwing people at their point, at their time, whatever their time is. That's everybody has their own time. But the moral of what I was trying to say, why life is fair, is this: everybody, whether you're the CEO of the company or you're the guy who cleans the bathroom of the company, life is going to screw the CEO as well as the guy who cleans the bathroom at their designated time. And I think that's what my associate contemporary was forgetting, was not picking up from what I was saying. So I guess I was speaking maybe a little bit too over his head. So I'm just going to keep it simple. Life is going to screw the CEO of the company and the janitorial employee of the company equally at their appointed times. How that screwing manifest, that was my allegory. For the rich guy, he had health issues. For the healthy guy, he had poverty issues. So in mathematics, they call that a wash. You know what I'm saying? It's a wash, right? So when a person is feeling depressed because they might this person, you see somebody and you feel somewhat intimidated, or you feel like envy, or this person has it all, I don't. The way you offset, or the way you clear yourself from those feelings, which leads to other, degenerative feelings, the way you cleanse yourself of those feelings is you remind yourself that it doesn't matter that person has more than you, because you don't know what life has in store for that person. That same person that you're envious of, they, a year out, few months out, they might lose a mom. They might lose a dad. They might get into a car accident and end up in a wheelchair. They might develop cancer later. Cancer might be in their future, their fate, their destiny. So you don't know what a person is going to encounter when life screws them. And I'm using the term screw, but it's not, life is not screwing you. It just is. You know what I'm saying? It just is, right? There's no good. What's good? There's no bad. What's bad? Good and bad is your perception of your labeling. You label things good if it benefits your life, and you label it bad if it doesn't benefit. In other words, let me give you a perfect example. Positive and negative. There's no positive. There's no negative. You determine what's positive and what's negative based on how it benefits you. You don't believe me? I'll give you a real good, real life example. If something negative happens, you'll probably interpret it as something bad. But if you go into a doctor's office and you're there to get the results for your HIV test, you are hoping all of a sudden the word negative has a total different meaning. If that doctor comes out and says you are HIV negative, you're happy. You are excited. You are elated. So what was considered negative in one breath, all of a sudden, it means good. Negative, the context changes the definition of negative. Now, if the same doctor, you walk in and he tells you your results is positive, you're depressed. You're going to fall into a depression. You find out you're HIV positive. That's not a good thing. So positive there change the context, the environment changes the definition of the word positive. So positive don't mean positive and negative don't mean negative. Good don't mean good and bad don't mean bad. Context and your perception and your environment determines the definition or the outcome of a word. And I just gave you a perfect example where negative means positive. If you're getting a result from a doctor, you take a COVID test and it comes back negative, you feel good. You get a COVID test that comes back positive, positive don't feel so good. If your bank account is negative, that feels bad. If your bank account is positive, it feels good. If you have a positive attitude on life, you're jovial. You have a optimistic outlook, positive outlook. So those words change depending on context. So good and bad, there is no such thing. Right? It's the same thing as the context that I just gave you. I just showed you the example. It's how you interpret it based off conditions, circumstance, environments, contextual, right? So using that logic, when I say life is fear, you have to apply that same structural logic. It's fear when you interpret it in a way where you realize, okay, I might not have and she has. She might not have and he has. But me not having and you having is the fairness of life, because that's called balance. It's the balancing out of life. You can't have up without down. You can't have left without right. It's three-dimensional. You can't have you can't have good without bad. You can't have bad without good. Again, what we perceive to be good and bad, all of it works together to cause what's called a dynamic equilibrium, which is just the balance. So life is fair. Life is fair. Here's what I will say though. Our responsibility, our task, our mission, our duty should be to find out how you position yourself to be on the side of the wealth train. Be on the side of the rich train, where you're the one that's getting the money, right? You're the one that's winning. That's our job, to position ourselves in that area, in that field, where you're the one that is receiving the benefits, the good stuff, what you call good, right? That's the only, and to stay out of the field or the other equation of the balance where it's considered negative or, impoverished or unhealthy or whatever the case may be. So that's the only purpose and responsibility we have. Life is fair because it's going to balance itself out. It's a natural order of things. It's going to run its course and balance itself out. The only reason why we say it's unfair is because a lot of times we end up on that side of the equation where things are going negative and not good and unhealthy and impoverished. And then we look at the other side of the equation where people are winning and people are happy and we go, look, their life is not fair because they're doing better than me. It is fair. Your job is to figure out how to be on the other end of the equation where there's milk and honey or milk and money, and not on the side where there's starvation, poverty, and crime. So that's your only purpose, is to figure it out. How can you put yourself in the position or in front of or on the right side of that equation? But it's fair. It's fair, my friends. Life is very fair. Anything that comes my way that crushes me, I've been crushed multiple times. People who know me personally know I've had every wind taken out of my sail 1,000 times. Crushed many a times. But guess what? This is why life is fair. Because the wine that you drink, I'm not a drinker, but the wine that some of you drink, that fine tasting wine, it's only crushed grapes. That's all it is. That wine that you enjoy is crushed grapes. So when I think about how much I've been crushed in life, I'm just fine wine, baby, sweet, and I go down real savory. You got to savor this. This is sweet wine here. Till next time, peace.